Hello and welcome to the Dental Marketing Club. So we are now live on YouTube, and as ever on these club events, you may see me looking around all over the place. That's because I've got my mixing deck over here. I've got you and the presentation I'm looking at here, and I've got YouTube live here, so I can answer questions as they come in live. So this month, we are going to be looking at why blogging is so powerful. So many dentists, well, I mean, I say every dentist, every dental practice wants to reach the maximum number of people. Everyone wants to um, communicate the dental health message to the maximum number of people in your local area. And when you do that genuinely, when you genuinely connect with local people, you do a few things. You genuinely help them. And that is always one of the most important things for me, is to be able to genuinely help the local people with their dental health. What you also do at the same time is when you help them genuinely, they feel an attraction to want to come to you, and you then help your business, which helps you. So it's a true win-win situation. So understanding how to do that is really important for a practice, and blogging is a fabulous way to do that. So what we're going to look at is we're going to look at why a blog is so powerful, and I'm going to show you some statistics in that. We're going to look at blog location and where to put your blog. So sort of physically, how does that work online? We're going to look at a little bit about blog topic research, how to research blog topics, how to work out what people are searching for and the best titles to use and how to do that, and then how to structure each individual blog post. We're then going to look at using tags and categories, which are easy ways to help people find and navigate your blogs, getting your blog promoted, so getting people to find it, and then some tips for the creative process. So there is a comments box, so please feel free to comment. Ask your questions. You do need to be logged in to YouTube in order to do that, but please feel free to ask questions and I'll answer them as I go. So let's get on with the presentation. So I'm going to disappear to be a very small image at the top now. It's probably the best way for me anyway, but that's just so you can see the presentation much clearer. So why is a blog so powerful? So this is just one example of the power of blogging and why blogs are so powerful. So this is my own blog. So over the years, I've written 213 blog posts. That's a reasonable amount, but it's not, it's not the biggest, it's not the most massive. Other people write more, but I've written 213 posts over the years. My blog accounts for 31%, fraction over 31% of all page views of the website. It accounts for 54.5% of all sort of searches, so landing pages. So landing pages are the pages that someone lands on when they first arrive at your website. So my blog accounts for 54%. In other words, when people land on my website, 54% of those people are landing on my blog before actually landing on any one of the other sort of more salesy marketing type pages, which is what websites tend to be about. And this is a blog post that I wrote a few years ago now, and I was absolutely astounded when I wrote this. So I wrote a blog post. I'm not going to say what it's about because, it's my little secret as to what that blog post was about. But there is a blog on my website. If you look back in December, you'll probably be able to work out which one it is anyway. But that blog post took traffic to 17,000 views, which was astounding. So normally, my website gets, 500,000 views a month, 17,000 views in 1 month by writing one blog post. This is also what we can do with a blog. So these are some searches. So you can see in this instance, we're searching for dentures. And we've got a blog post being found, dentures, everything you need to know. Number 2 in the search results. This is another one for dental hygienist. So we're number 2 in the search results for dental hygienist, just a fraction below Wikipedia or the one below Wikipedia, which is fabulous to get so high in the search results for such massively generic terms. This is another one, black tooth. Now this one is higher than the NHS, and it's also above this people also ask. So if you really get a blog post right, and Google really likes that blog post, you can get massively high. Peter, hello, thank you for watching. I'm assuming that's Peter because I know Sally is sometimes logging with the same address. But hello, Peter, thanks for watching. So using a blog, we're able to get this particular website. It's a client of mine, sort of higher than a number one, really. We're above the people also ask section. So this is how we can get blogs extremely high. So they're very useful. This is another one, tooth replacement. So we're just below Bupa, and we're just below the people also ask section. So what options do you have to replace missing teeth? Now these are all blog posts, and there are reasons why blog posts appear higher in the search results than any other form of page on your website. And throughout this presentation, we will have a look at why that is. This is also another really good place that you can get blogs found. It's the people also ask section. And I'll be showing you how we can get into this people also ask section, which get very high click-through rates, get very high conversions from them, and you get lots of traffic if you can work your way into this people also ask. And there isn't a definitive way to force Google to put you in this section, but having well-structured blogs, having well-structured content and articles on your website increases the likelihood. And then we get this, what I call the snowball effect of great content. So it starts with people reading your content, people then like your content, people are then more likely to share your content. Google notices people sharing it, and then we get more people reading it, and we get this snowball effect going round and around and around. So there are benefits to being found for things like, so I showed you black tooth, okay? So there are benefits of being found for black tooth because Google knows inherently where most people are. So a lot of people have geo-tracking turned on their mobile phones or on their computers. So when people type something, Google is more likely to show search results of people in a local area. So just for being found for black tooth, you're more likely to be found if someone types black tooth in that local area. But the other effect of it is if people type black tooth, even if they're not in your local area, and let's say there's a blogger out there, and a blogger is talking about beauty and looking fabulous and looking amazing. There may be a beauty blogger, there may be a makeup blogger, and they may be talking about things about their face and what you can do to make your lips look better and your eyes look better and your teeth look better. And within that blog post, they may want to talk about a black tooth. Now, rather than talk lots of information about a black tooth themselves in that blog post, what they're likely to do is to link out to another website that talks more specifically about a black tooth. If you're found for black tooth, that blogger, when they do their research, will find your website and link to you. What that then does is give you a good link from another blogging website, and the more links you have, the higher your whole website will rank. That then means that when people type dentist in Bridport, dentist in Glasgow, dentist in wherever the local area, because you've got lots of links, you will be found higher. Google will put your whole website higher. So having these links for things like black tooth, dental hygienist, will ensure that your website ranks for all of those other search terms that you want to rank for as well. And we really do, once we get this ball rolling, once we get this snowball effect rolling, you really do find that your website starts to rank higher for all of those other search phrases as well. So let's look at a blog location, where to put your blog. So on your website is the simple and easy answer. Get that blog onto your website, and there are a few different ways of doing it. So people talk about having a blog sort of on an external website. So you can have a blog on something called Medium. You could have it on Blogger. You could have it on WordPress, because WordPress have their own blogging platform. You could have your blog on another website, but If you do that and people link to it, it's on another website. It's not on your website. So if you do that, you're not going to get the traffic to you if you are linking, if you are writing a blog somewhere else. You want people linking to your website when they link to you. You don't want them linking to some other website. So it's really important that you get the blog on your website, not blogging somewhere else. So get it onto your website. So when you get it onto your website, you may have that in a couple of ways. Now, I recommend WordPress. So there are other blogging platforms or other ways of doing it, but WordPress is a simple, easy, effective one, and you can actually do it yourself as well with a little bit of technical knowledge. So you could have your whole website is a WordPress website, which lots of people do, and that works very well. Or you could have WordPress in a folder. So just to explain that a little bit more, you could have a whole WordPress website with your whole website managed by WordPress, and you'll have pages within your website, which would be your pages that you talk about us, team, contact us, the homepage, and then your various services that you offer. That's how you'll have it structured. And if you have a WordPress website, you will have a blog section within that. So the blog is what they call posts within the website. So if you write a post, that'll put that into the blogging section of your website. So that's one way of doing it. So if you're thinking of having a new website, think possibly about going down the WordPress route, and then you'll automatically get a blog linked into your website. Another way of doing it is to have your practice, and you'll have your practice, your website uploaded via FTP, file transfer protocol, or some other way, or some web designer may have built your website, and it could be managed via any number of different ways. So that will have your main website that sits online. And within that, you can have a folder. So the way that folders work online is you've got yourpractice.com / and then you've got blog or / dental advice or / WordPress, whatever it is. So that WordPress little mini website sits within a folder, and it is actually structured like a whole separate little website, but Google will view all of that as one single website. So it'll be yourdentalpractice.com / blog / then all of your posts. So Google will view it as one. And that's really important, that Google views your website and your blog all as one. And you can either do that with an entire WordPress website, or have your website, then have a folder within your website, so / and then have the WordPress website sitting there. Doesn't matter how you do it, Google will see everything as one entire website. And that's what's incredibly important. So just to show you sort of the back end of that, this is my blog, which I have. I'll just go back a slide, which I have as this second option. So I have a website that's designed by a designer, just because it gave me a few more options with designing my website. So I have it designed by a professional designer, and then we have a blog as a separate folder within that. And I'll show you how that works in a second. So you can see we have here, if I just go to pen, so we've got posts, so I could put posts in there. And personally, I don't use pages in my WordPress blog because I've got pages on my main website. So I just use these posts section, and here are all of the posts that I've written over the years. So to give you a few examples of what that may look like, this is a WordPress website. And within that, we have a section marked blog, and you go to the blog and everything looks seamless and everything is exactly the same because it's all working off the same sort of front end, as it were. This is another WordPress website, and you click on the free dental advice, which is their blog, and then we're into the blogging section. Now, this is my website. So you may not instantly know that it's not a WordPress website, but it's not. This was created by a designer for me. But there's the blog link up here. But when you click onto the blog link, you then go through to the blog, which is now, you may be able to see up here, / blog. So this is a separate little, it's actually a separate little micro website, but Google views it all as one because it's in a separate folder. And in here, I create all of my posts, and we've made it look pretty much exactly the same as the main website. So that is why you should have a blog. That is where you should have a blog. So let's move on to the next stage of blog topic research. And this is how I do blog topic research, and I'm sure there are lots of ways of doing that, but this is how I do it. So let's take as an example, we're going to do a blog post about orthodontics and orthodontics hurting as an example. So just go to Google and do a search for does orthodontics hurt? Then we can start to look at these people also ask section. So Google is very good at sort of tallying up questions so that you get so that the researcher, when they type these questions, gets lots of information about their chosen topic. So we can now add that to our little list. So we've got, does orthodontics hurt? And we can add in how painful are braces on the first day. So Google is saying to us, well, actually, you know, does orthodontics hurt? People are also really interested in how painful are braces on the first day. We could then click on one of those people also ask what helps braces stop hurting, and it will show us some extra topics. So now we've got, does orthodontics hurt? How painful are braces on the first day? What helps braces stop hurting? How do you brush your teeth with braces on? Click on that and that opens up. Can you brush your teeth? Or can you eat pizza when you have braces? Wow, you know, we can really start to open it out. Can you eat chicken if you have braces? Can you eat bacon when you have braces? So what I start to do is I start to copy and paste all of these search questions into a little document. So that we're starting to structure our blog post. We're starting to get some ideas anyway of getting our mind ticking and helping with the creative process of thinking about, well, rather than just does orthodontics hurt and having the answer, well, sometimes it does. It's more mildly uncomfortable than pain and you can manage it that way, end of blog post. We're starting to flesh out this thing about orthodontics and being uncomfortable or possible pain, and thinking about some more topics that we can have in that blog post. So now we've got some questions and we're starting to structure it. So we can have a headline, does orthodontics hurt? And using Google, we're now thinking about how painful braces on the first day and what helps braces stop hurting. So there's all subheadings. How to clean teeth with braces. So remember, one of those other questions was, how do you brush your teeth with braces on? We can have that in there as well. What can you eat with braces? So can you eat pizza when you have braces? So now we can start thinking, well, pizza, well, we've got crust. That's crunchy, there's chewy, possibly difficulty eating with mozzarella, getting caught in braces. So now starting to think about eating crispy food, eating chewy food, eating difficult to eat things with braces. Can you eat chicken? Well, thinking creatively, what about bones? You know, eating chicken, yes, you could, of course, but what about bones? You might accidentally get caught out with a bone. Think about eating bacon when you have braces. Well, that actually, bacon could be a good substitute for high sugary foods at breakfast. So we're starting to flesh out and use these Google questions to flesh out a blog post. Now let's take that research and put that into a blog post. So now we're starting to look at structuring a blog post and having various headings within that blog post. So we've got our main heading, and we're going to call this now Top Tips Whilst Wearing Orthodontic Braces. And we've got, does orthodontics hurt? And we've got how painful are braces on the first day, what helps braces stop hurting. And the way to start to structure that is to have various headings. Have your main overarching heading of top tips whilst wearing braces. Then your heading 2, and you can do that by, all you do is you highlight the text, click in this section here, paragraph, and go for heading 2. Does orthodontics hurt? So that's our sort of next heading down. Then we've got headings 3, which is a subheading of how painful are braces on the first day. And then we go back to cleaning braces for heading 2. So do you see we're structuring the blog post around having an overarching heading, top tips. Then we've got pain and does orthodontics hurt? Then we've got subheadings of that. Then we've got how to clean teeth with braces. Then we can have subheadings of that. So we're starting to flesh out our blog post. If you get, say, 6 of those headings and you write 100 words in each of those sections, we've now got a 100-word blog post. So we've now got a really good, structured, decent length blog post. When we do that, when we structure headings in that way, does orthodontics hurt? How painful are braces on the first day? What helps braces stop hurting? Can you eat chicken with braces, thinking about bones? What about sugary foods? Can you eat other foods with braces? What about high sugar foods with braces? This is when Google starts to pick up your blog post for the things that you're talking about and insert them into people also ask. And this is how we get blog posts ranking very highly on Google, by answering questions. You also then need to make sure that the title, I'm going to highlight here, that the title and the description of your blog are correct and have the keywords in there that you want to be found for. So for example, wearing orthodontic braces, we've got some keywords in there. You should, any good constructed WordPress site will have this facility in, but if you don't have the facility to change the title and description of your blog post, go to plugins, click on add new. There are lots in there, but my recommendation is all-in-one SEO pack. So just when it got add new, click in the search bit, search for all-in-one SEO, click install. Once you click install, when you scroll to the end of your blog post, you will see then this facility to change the title and description. That is really important. Make sure you change the title and description and get in your keywords that you want to be found for in that title and in the description. So this is what we did with this particular blog. So we've got black tooth. You can see within the title, we've got black teeth. Google understands similarities between words. So things like tooth and teeth, Google doesn't discriminate between. It knows that tooth and teeth are linked. So we've got black teeth in our title. Then in the description, that's not shown on the main website, but it's very often shown in the search results. So the description that we use for this blog post was, a black tooth will affect your smile and impact on your confidence. And that's how we've managed to get the search, that post showing so highly for black tooth, because we've signaled to Google in many ways what the post is about very early on in the title. Black teeth, the first 2 words. A black tooth is within the first 3 words of the title, and then we've got it within the main content of the website as well. So that's how to structure your blog post. Now, another very good way of making your blog easier to navigate is to use tags and categories. So you may see on the side of a blog categories. We've renamed this one here themes, but you can have tags, categories. You can have it all. You can name it all different ways. And this is how I recommend you use tags and categories for your dental practice. So have categories as your overarching sort of problem, really, that you're helping a patient with. So I would have categories as things like dental anxiety, dental health, replacing missing teeth, straightening crooked teeth, cosmetic dentistry. Have these as your main categories for blog posts. Then have tags as those treatments and things you're talking about within that overarching category. So for example, straightening crooked teeth could be the category of that blog post, and the tags could be Invisalign and Malina, Damon braces, any other orthodontic system you use, and also veneers. Veneers, bonding, and crowns can be used to straighten crooked teeth. So have those as tags in there. Now you'll notice that you then can start to have things like veneers as tags appearing in multiple categories. And it just means that it makes your blog much easier for a patient to navigate. So let's say they land on your website because they're looking, so I land on your blog because they're looking about veneers, they can then use the tags to navigate all the posts about veneers and find that veneers are linked to cosmetic dentistry, just straightening crooked teeth. Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that veneers could be used to straighten crooked teeth. So it's a really nice way of linking blog posts together by having tags and categories. Google can also index tags and categories. So then when somebody types something into Google, you know, how can I straighten crooked teeth? If you've got your blog set up properly with categories, Google could then send someone to the category section of your blog with all of your posts about straightening crooked teeth. So it really answers that person's problems very well, simply and easily. So getting your blog promoted. All blogs should have an RSS feed. An RSS feed will be automatic if you have a WordPress blog, and you can use an RSS feed. People use RSS feeds to be automatically updated when you write a blog post. And that is why one of the reasons I really like WordPress. WordPress has an RSS feed built into it automatically. People can subscribe and they can automatically find your blog because of that RSS feed. It's almost like a beacon, and that beacon constantly promotes or sends out a message to everyone that's subscribed every time that you write a blog post. So it's a really good way of keeping people up to date. Email is an also fabulously good way. Now, remember, opt-in email is the personally, I think email marketing is the way to go. Email is extremely powerful, and you can test that because people get annoyed when they get spam. The reason they get annoyed when they get spam is because email is very personal and it clutters up our inbox. But if someone is waiting for your email because you are genuinely answering their question and helping them, then that email, that same thing that annoys people with spam, actually becomes very useful. So an email can be really, really good, can be really useful at promoting your blog to people that want to know more and want to find out about the treatments and services that you offer. Um, Social media is also a really good way to promote your blog. Now, if you are just using email and social media just to try to sell yourself the whole time, that's when it becomes spam. That's when it becomes annoying. We should be using social media and email to genuinely help those people out there outside of your practice. When you genuinely flip marketing on its head, care for people, demonstrate that you care for people by writing good social media updates, by writing good and helpful blog posts, then people are drawn to you. They sort of magnetically drawn to the fact that you are helping them. That's when marketing becomes more powerful. So using RSS feeds, email, and social media in that way, that is how you can reach more people with your blog post. So a few tips for the creative process of writing a blog. My number one recommendation is to write when you feel inspired. Why would anyone want to write a blog post if you don't feel inspired? Writing without inspiration is awful. Your blog post will be terrible. They'll feel forced. It'll feel as though you're just writing for marketing. So write when you feel inspired to write. And if you don't feel inspired, then don't do it. Is my advice. Whoop. Sorry, I flicked screens. Then let me just go back to the correct screen on here. If you're inspired to write multiple posts, rather than write multiple blog posts all in one go, write a blog post and then schedule them for future release. So wait. So I do this very often. So I will have a little flurry and I'll think, wow, I've got a few blog posts here that I think are really good. I've got a few posts that I would like to write. So I write a few posts, write them all in one go, and then schedule them for later release. And that way, you'll get a much better sort of distribution of your blogs, and you're not sending them all out in one go. Begin with a basic dental problem and then investigate further on Google, as I've shown you. So I'm writing multiple posts for clients all of the time, and they're all unique and they're all different. And I can't possibly be that creative all of the time. So I start with a single idea. Does orthodontics hurt? Do some research on Google, as I showed you, and then it opens out and we can get more blog posts written just by investigating on Google. Keep the post to approximately 700 words. That keeps it the ideal length for people to read. People aren't going to read and share exceptionally long posts. And have fun, have fun in your posts. Be jovial in the posts when you write them. So we've looked at lots of things. So we've looked at ways of writing your blog, ways to structure your blog. So some top tips to get your blog post found. Phrase your blog title as a question. If you do it as a question, that's how you'll get into the search results with Google, into this people also ask section. Link out from your blog to other high authority websites. If you do this, then Google will see your blog post as a genuine resource rather than a sales tool. So let's say you're talking about orthodontics and you talk about Inman Aligner, you could link out to the Inman Aligner website. If you talk about, let's say you say in your blog post, orthodontics can sometimes be uncomfortable, we recommend using over-the-counter treatments such as ibuprofen. Take the ibuprofen and link to the ibuprofen or a website that talks about ibuprofen. That way people can use your blog as a resource and link out to other things as they find them on your blog post. Link to other pages, internal pages of your site. So if you mention the word orthodontics, link to the orthodontics page of your website. That means your blog then becomes your marketing tool as well. So rather than, so as well as linking to other sites, you're also linking to within your site. And that's how you get the blog driving traffic to other pages of your site as well. Ensure that the metadata, the title, description, the images are all relevant on each blog post. And we've spoken about that as we've gone on. And share your blog. Talk about your blog, share it on social media streams and email. So we've looked at quite a few things here. We've looked at why blogging is so powerful, blog location, where to blog topics research, your blog structure, using tags and categories, getting your blog promoted, and tips for the creative process. Lots of things. So thank you for joining us. The next Dental Marketing Club. We're having a break in August. Every year I take August off. I always take August off. Let me just go back to this one. So I always take August off. It's a time for me to rest, to recuperate, to recover, to listen to my mind and to my body. So I take August off. So we're having a break in August. So the next marketing club will be the 13th of September, where we're going to look at gentle email marketing. So it's using email marketing to educate and help others with their dental health. I use email an awful lot. We can use email marketing and automation with email marketing to really deeply communicate with people. So that's going to be Thursday, the 13th of September, gentle email marketing. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for taking the time. I will share this post on various other places around social media and email. Please do engage on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you see this. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much for watching.